Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Droid Life Show, episode 55 tonight. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, Tim, Ron, and Eric. What's up?
Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here.
Hey, this is Ron.
Hey, I'm Eric.
So, welcome back after last week's show where we talked Fire TV, some HTC M8 stuff. This week we've got, well, Tim and I finished our review of the HTC One M8, so we've kind of got some parting thoughts there. And then the Galaxy S5 launches this Friday, so we'll just talk a little bit about what we think as we lead up to that. I mean, that's 2 days away, which is kind of crazy. We'll also remind you not to ever hammer the battery of a Galaxy S5. Talk about new Moto products, Facebook's Messenger, maybe do some Q&A, and we've got quite a few apps to talk about, including a couple of big ones from Dropbox that came out today. So let's just jump right into the M8 review since Tim and I are finished there. Tim, do you want to just kind of give your final thoughts on the M8? Or do you want me to go first?
No, sure. I only have a few thoughts. No, I mean, really, I only have a few thoughts. It seems like a decent pickup for anyone who were fans of the HTC M7. You know, if you were looking to kind of upgrade early, you know, or anything like that, the M8's good. Camera. You know, once we were doing the review, and I sent pictures from the gallery that looked great on the phone. I was like, yeah, these are good shots, dude. And I sent them over the desktop, and we uploaded them to the site, and I was like, these pictures are crap. Like, if you enhance, you know, or zoom in, I mean, there's just no detail. There's no crisp. Like, they actually look crisp, and a lot of detail on the actual display of the phone. But once they're on the web for, you know, at max resolution, they don't look very good. So I was sort of bummed about that. I was telling everyone that the M8 had a decent camera, and sure, yeah, it's decent, you know, if you're just sticking to Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that, but if you're doing anything serious, I would probably skip it. Other than that, performance is good, boom sound is awesome, overall design is quite nice, little tall, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? Kit Kat, all the things, Kit Kat's great. And that's about it. I mean, Sense is still Sense. It didn't really change too much. Kind of like how on the S5, you know, once it has KitKat, TouchWiz took on a completely new form, at least in my eyes so far. So I'm excited for the Galaxy S5 with KitKat. Other than that, I have nothing much else to say about the M8. I'm happy that the Galaxy S5 is coming, and I can't wait to try it out.
Yeah, I guess my final thoughts are sort of, it's a really, really good phone. Like, there's not really a lot wrong. Like, in our review, we had one thing in the section where we sort of agreed was the worst part about the phone. It's probably the size, weight, and slipperiness kind of combo there, because the phone's really tall. It does weigh quite a bit, and then it's kind of slippery. So that combination of stuff is a little awkward. But otherwise, you know, the camera we put right in the middle, so it can take good pictures. It just takes them at 4 megapixel resolution. So, like Tim said, if you're not gonna put them on your computer and blow them up or print them or crop them or do any of that stuff, it's fine. Like, it actually takes some pretty good shots, and they look great on the phone. The shutter on the thing is instant. I don't know that they can even improve upon that. It's so fast. Sometimes you can take a picture, and I don't think you've even realized you've taken a picture. So the camera, you know, I would say the camera takes good 4 megapixel shots, if, you know, for whatever that means. So if you don't need to blow things up and, like I said, all that other stuff, the camera's probably going to be just fine for you. The camera UI I really like. The build quality of the phone, you know, it's unmatched basically. Like, it just feels, I keep calling it like smartphone luxury. It just feels sort of luxurious in your hands. Speakers are awesome, like Tim said. The display is great. Performance is great. I think this is the best version of Sense yet. Look, it's flat, looks modern. It actually adds some functionality. It's actually a really, really great phone. But like Tim said, the Galaxy S5 is going to be here, and I think you should probably at least wait for that to come out and see reviews of that before you maybe go jump and purchase a new phone. It's just, even though Samsung's new phone looks like they probably didn't change a whole bunch of stuff or innovate in a whole bunch of new areas, it's still Samsung, and they tend to put out, you know, some of the best products. So, the HTC One M8, my final thoughts are sort of, it's a really nice phone. There's not a lot wrong with it. Our complaints are almost somewhat specific to us, right? The camera thing bugged us. the size, weight, and slipperiness bugged us, but that might not bug 99 or 95% of the people. So, and I think HTC even said that they created a camera for 90% of the world or something like that. They had some numbers about it, and so they assume that only 10% of people actually care about blowing up photos and printing them and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I think we both agree it's a really good phone, and if you bought it, you probably really be satisfied with it. So,
Yep.
Ron, Eric, any other final thoughts there on the M8 after seeing everything that there is to know about it? Not really. I mean, we've kind of touched on this so much, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk Galaxy S5, just sort of last second thoughts. Comes out Friday. It should be at every carrier and basically every outlet. So that's April 11th. $199 on contract in most places. You can obviously get it on all of those month-to-month payment plans if you are into those. Full retail, I would imagine, is going to be $599. I don't know that that's 100%. Yeah, that is confirmed because I think Verizon's already got it listed for that. So you can buy a full retail for $599. It's got its 5.1-inch 1080p Super AMOLED display, which is apparently the greatest display on Earth, according to DisplayMate. It's got 2 gig of RAM, a camera that should be awesome and should be faster than ever. It's got a lot of things to like, and then of course all those health features, heart rate monitor, fitness tracker, all that stuff built in. We will have a full review in due time, and I'm just excited to switch again. So Tim, not to go back to the M8, but are you still using it now that you're done with the review? Or are you just basically holding on until the Galaxy S5 comes out?
Yeah, I'm just holding on until the GS5 comes out. I figure I'm not going to switch back to the Nexus 5 just to switch to the GS5 whenever I get it. I mean, because it's only a couple more days, so I'm just going to stick with the M8. Kind of nitpick at it for a couple more days, and then I'll really probably be done with it because I don't see myself ever going back to it unless I absolutely have to. Unless the GS5 camera completely craps out on me, then I'm just going to stick with the GS5 or the Nexus 5 because the Nexus 5 is great. Like, you pick up the Nexus 5 after touching the M8, and it's just a completely different world. The display is somehow better in my mind, and it just seems bigger and fuller. I don't know.
But not taller.
Not taller. Well, the device I don't think is taller. The display is exactly the same height.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing, right? They each have a 5-inch display, and if you set them next to each other, the M8 has like a full half an inch taller on it.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So to me, I love the Nexus 5. Always will. It's a great phone. But GS5, inbound, incoming.
Yeah, so I've basically gone back to the Nexus 5. I mean, I have the M8 sitting right here too, but basically gone back to the Nexus 5 just because. And the Nexus 5, I think I complained a little bit during the review that it was a little big, and it's not big at all. It fits just right in the hand. So.
You said the Nexus 5 was big in your review?
I think I said it. I think it's because I was comparing it to the Moto X at the time, and the Moto X just is so small, right?
Yeah, it's always about perspective. If I went to the Moto X now, I'd be like, man, this thing is way too small.
It would just be tiny, yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is. All right. Oh my lord, this is like a little kid's phone. It's crazy. Yeah, the Nexus 5, I feel like, is that perfect middle spot of weight and size and all that. While the Moto X is pretty hot looking though, with that walnut back. I might have to go
your
back
fingers tingle again, yeah.
I know, I might have to go back to the Moto X. Who knows?
Yeah, so Galaxy S5 is coming in 2 days. You can pre-order it everywhere if you want to. We'll have plenty of coverage of it. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. As much as we've kind of poked fun at the idea that they really didn't change much on it, except put a dimply back on and barely increase the screen size, and they just up the megapixel count in the camera, things like that. I'm still really excited to try it, and this is going to sound really cheesy, but the fitness stuff I'm actually looking forward to using because I'm training for another half marathon, and so I want to check my heart rate all the time and do all this stuff. So I figure I might as well, once I get the phone, just hammer on it and see if it actually gives me any sort of decent results and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll probably be the only time I say I want to use one of Samsung's apps. But yeah. All right. Well, do you guys have any thoughts? Galaxy S5 before we move out of there. It's coming in 2 days. Ron, are you like waiting in line to buy one?
Totally. I'm just gonna throw all my money away for Samsung.
Waiting for the next big thing.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, how well it's reviewed and everything else like that. So, and probably most importantly, I'm just interested to see how HTC is able to fare against it. So, if they're able to.
Yeah, if they're able to.
If they're able to.
Dun dun dun.
Poor HTC. Spent all their money on Robert Downey Jr. Can't even compete with
And
Samsung.
that's not even a good commercial either. That's the worst part.
No, the new Robert Downey Jr. commercial for the HTC One M8 is terrible.
Like it looks like that was his first take. Of
Yeah,
of him BSing, not doing a script. Like that's his first take of him BSing.
Yeah,
Well, there was no script.
like they
that.
clearly he was on set somewhere and they said, we haven't done a commercial in a while. We need to do one. So he goes, all right, I'm not going anywhere. You guys fly here. And they go, okay. And they got there, pulled a phone out of the box, handed it to him, and were like, just say something about, Mobile World Congress, and then, I don't know, just be you. And he was like, okay. Yeah, and you're right. One take, and that was it. He was done. And they moved on. And now he's probably like fulfilled his contract.
Him walking off camera is literally him walking away from them. That was it.
Pretty much. There was a
That's what it looks
table.
like.
Yeah, there was like a table right off camera, and he just set the phone down and just kept going.
And just never look back.
Or something, yeah.
Back to my iPhone. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, has anyone checked his Twitter
His
recently?
Twitter? No.
I don't
make
know if he
sure
has
he's,
Twitter.
I don't
I
know
was
if he
curious
has
Yeah, I
about
don't
that.
think he does.
To see if he's like spamming off pictures or something that aren't from the HTC.
He's like taking pictures of his HTC One with his iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Galaxy
This
S5.
is such a great phone from Twitter for iPhone.
Yeah, he does not have a Twitter.
I don't think so.
He's
He's got a Facebook though,
Yeah.
and his Facebook has nothing. Oh,
That doesn't
wow.
tell us the dirty
Oh,
details.
oh yeah.
Does he have anything HTC on his Facebook, or is it even official
He
Facebook?
has. He has. Well, it's like an official Facebook, so he has his new HTC commercial on there. He says, "I got mine. Where's yours?"
Okay.
And that's it. And that's it.
Yikes.
It is
Okay,
kind
so-
of yikes.
Yeah, it is. It was an embarrassing spot that they just uploaded to YouTube. I don't think it's actually running on TV, is it? That thing?
I
haven't
doubt
seen
it.
I hope not.
Samsung has David Ortiz and Obama taking selfies,
Okay.
and they
Not
can't even
anymore.
got to take them seriously.
Yeah, we didn't really talk much about that at all, actually, on the site. But that was about to be a disaster for Samsung for sneaking that around. Don't mess with the White House.
I think it's great.
It was sneaky.
I think-
It was dirty sneaky, but it was sneaky.
Yeah, they
And,
take it too seriously. Come on.
Yeah, but you can't do that to the president. You can't mess with the president.
No more selfies.
That's right. No more product placements with the president. Not good. All right, so did everyone watch this video of the Galaxy S5 getting hammered?
Yes.
Ron, you haven't seen this video yet?
Ron, you didn't
No.
see it?
No.
Oh, man.
So,
Said Galaxy S5 in the headline. I was like, boring.
yeah. Well, so that's what I said at first, too, and then Tim sent it to me. It was like, you have to watch this. And at first I just said, this is stupid that people do dumb things like this.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of videos of people breaking their phones. Like,
Yeah. And so this one, I can't tell if it was a joke, like if they meant to make it funny like this.
No
but-
way. No way.
I mean, you don't think it was all
too
set
good.
up? Okay.
No, it's too good.
So basically, the guy starts hammering on his Galaxy S5 with a hammer, and he taps on it a couple times and goes, "Yeah, see, it didn't break, so I'm gonna hammer a little harder this time," and it cracks. And so he goes, "All right, now that it's cracked, I'm just gonna hammer it until it's dead." And he just trashes the front, flips it over, and starts hammering the back, and the back cover pops off. Battery falls out, and he takes one whack at the battery, and it explodes and starts spraying this like black toxic dust everywhere. And the guy starts choking on it, like he's about to die from huffing this stuff in. And what does he say to him? He says something like, some guy goes, "Is everything okay?" And he goes, "Dude, go get some Febreze." Like the only
He's
thing
like-
he could think of.
You can tell he's in some type of like studio or closet room. And he just opens the door. He's like, "Michael," and then silence. He's like, "Get some Febreze or something."
It's so funny.
Hysterical. It was really good.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope that it was real and not set up because it's hilarious. Because it starts out like one of those dumb videos of people driving over. We got an email from some company that created a video where they drove over the Galaxy S5 in a Tesla or something, and like everyone on their staff of 4 people emailed it into us. And so there's like all these dumb videos like that, but yet this guy took a hammer to it, and it was classic. Get some views.
Video.
What was weird to me is I saw that video and then I was like, for a second, I thought I had seen this somewhere before, and I remembered like earlier that day I was scrolling through a tech website and there was like a banner ad somewhere for some screen protector company that had a phone laying on the thing and they had a hammer hovering over it. And they're like, "Oh, we'll protect your phone." And then like 2 hours later, that video showed up. I was like, "This too good to be true."
It was hilarious. It was pretty funny.
That's great. That's really
Somebody
good.
wants me to play the video on air. I don't think I know how to do that. Somebody else knows how to do that.
That sounds like a lot of work that we don't want to do.
That
It's a
does.
big
Sounds
time.
like I just need the link. You guys keep talking. I'll try real quick, just because I want Ron to see it really bad. Yeah.
It would be pretty funny. It's
would
actually
be
really
pretty
funny. Okay, so while Tim's working on that, let's talk quickly about this leak that came out over the weekend through The Verge for Android TV. It's not Google TV, Android TV, and it's apparently coming soon, and it looks exactly like every other sort of media set-top box streamer thing, like Roku, the new Fire TV, all that stuff. And they have screenshots from it. I don't believe these are mock-ups. I believe these are screenshots from whatever documentation they have. And it looks like card-style movie posters. Scroll through it. There's a big Google search bar. You can search with your voice. There are some apps. Yeah, I don't really get why we're revisiting this from Google, but we are. So, anyone
Just in
interested
case
in Android TV?
We're going to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a little bit before we came on air, but we already have Chromecast, which does a lot of awesome stuff and works with most of the apps that they have on here, like Netflix and all the Google Suite and Pandora, YouTube, obviously. And so the only thing I can think is that if they include gaming in this somehow, that maybe then it makes it okay. But then it's just like the Fire TV, and it's fine if you want to put a similar product out there. I just don't know that Google needed to revisit Android TV. And who knows? Maybe they're gonna have partners and load this up on TVs, with LG or something like that. I'm not fully
Just
sure.
like Schmidt said, all those TVs are going to have it.
Yeah. So, I mean.
What? By summer, like 2 years ago now?
Yeah, like we got nowhere with Google TV, and Google clearly thinks it's an area it needs to be in, so it's revisiting it. I don't know if we're going to see this stuff at I/O in a couple months, or if we're going to see it beforehand. The pictures look pretty polished, I would say, but that doesn't necessarily mean much. So, yeah, I mean, like I love my Chromecast, and Tim and I each picked up a Fire TV, and I think I turned it on once and haven't really used it since. So, but I've used the
I've been using
Chromecast
it.
multiple times since then.
I've been using it.
All right, so what do you think about it?
I think it's cool. Actually, I don't have really any downside to it. There was, people talking about, oh, you can't search within an app. Like, say, you got Netflix on there or Hulu, you can't search within those apps. You have to open that app and then search through it. I mean, yeah, like, duh. Like, I just wouldn't say duh. I mean, you have to, like, open an app, but they're kind of right. Like, I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, if I want to be able just to search with my voice and not have to use the pesky little on-screen keyboard or whatever with the little up, down, left, right, it would be nice if you could, search within an app, and maybe that'll come later in the future or something. But other than that, I played a few games on it. It was actually really responsive. It looked great. I actually kind of dig it. It's a sweet, nifty little black box, and I kind of like it. Although I don't see myself using it long term, like as much as I would want, say for gaming or something. I don't know. It doesn't really come with much storage, And all the games that they released for it take up like 1.5 gigs of storage. So I download Asphalt 8, and I have to like delete it if I want to play anything else, and that's just a real pain in the ass.
I guess I didn't think about that. What does that have? 8 gig of storage?
Yeah, like 8 gig, and it comes with 5.5 of like usable storage.
And there's no SD slot or expandable. Like, how did
Uh,
that work? I
I
didn't
did
even think
not
about
see
that.
any
That sounds
Yeah,
like
see,
a
expandable
mistake.
storage.
I've been kind of worrisome about this ever since the like Ouya was announced. Android, and it seemed like everybody was just
Oh
looking
yeah.
the
Sorry.
gaming, as kind of like the next honeypot that they can get their hands in. And there's a reason why Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo are like the only players in the game, is because they've been doing it, and
Now
they
Sony
kept
and
doing stuff
Microsoft.
like that. You can't expect a gaming console to ship and then you have to uninstall one game to install another one. So
Right.
It'd be sweet if you could actually kind of like what Nvidia does with the streaming over the cloud type of deal. You pay, let's say, a subscription to a monthly service, and where you can just stream the game from the
yeah,
cloud, say using Grid or whatever. That's awesome. Like, you don't have to actually download the game or deal with CDs if you're a PC gamer or something like that. Boy, if I could do that, if I could just pay a subscription service and have access to all the new games and stuff out there from the Grid, and I knew there was no latency problems and all that, that would be so win.
the problem
Are you
is
kidding me? Come on.
to do that you have to have some serious hardware packed inside. And I don't think that
That's what the Grid is, baby.
Amazon.
It's serious hardware.
Well, yeah, the Grid is that, but Amazon and Google, don't want to
Oh, yeah.
pack that hardware in there because they want to keep the price down. So
Make them pay.
I don't know.
Absolutely. I'm just saying that would really help. That would solve,
Yeah.
running out of storage problems. But yeah,
I
clearly
think
that's not.
Steam is going that direction here in the near future, but I'm afraid that Google's going to try and do the same thing, and they're gonna run into some of the same problems and just end up looking dumb.
Ouya is foolish, and I don't care for that
Well,
console at all.
Yeah, but
Ever.
they were
So
they were the
if they
first.
go the way of Old Yeller, I'm not gonna cry. Because
Spoiler
that
alert.
just seems. What?
Sad.
Spoiler alert.
Oh. Spoiler alert! Oh, because
Spoiler alert for everyone, Tim.
I didn't know. I was
Come
like,
on.
I don't know that Ouya is going down, but yes, Old Yeller does die. And yeah, no, it's
Old
only
Yeller,
because
much more interesting story than Ouya, that's for sure.
Yeah.
exactly.
And Android TV. Let's be
And
honest.
Android
Yeah,
TV.
you're Android TV is going to be kind of I don't know yet, just because I've only seen screenshots of a reported Android TV UI, but I don't know. I think it's cool. Kindle, the Fire TV, does what I wanted, say, Chromecast to do, which was play games. And the controller is actually pretty great. It reminds me a lot of the Xbox 360 controller, which I know and love, or the Xbox One controller. It's all the same, and it's actually quite good. So if Google did one that had access to Google Play and their movies, and I could access my Gmail account or Google account through it, then I would just switch to that from the Fire TV. If it did everything Fire TV did, but had Google Play instead of the Amazon App Store, sign me up, because I'm already invested in the Google ecosystem over Amazon's.
For sure.
And everyone knows how much I hate the Amazon App Store. So.
Well,
So-
one of these screenshots does have a whole games section, like Plants
Yeah.
vs. Zombie 2 and Temple Run 2 and all that stuff's on there. So I'd imagine they're going to sell some sort of controller, or maybe just
Yeah.
Bluetooth controllers will work, and then you can
What
just...
if the controller is going to be totally crap, though? That would just kill
Yeah.
it for me. Like, it needs to be a good controller. So,
Yeah,
that would be
Steam
nice.
also just ran into that problem because they, pretty much had to create a new, because you can't just come out and put out the PlayStation or Xbox controller and say that,
Didn't
it's the
Steam
one-
try to reinvent the controller, and it
yeah,
just
they did like
backfired on
dual
that?
touchpads. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of companies are running into the whole, you can't just. reinvent
Amazon
the
just
gaming-
did it.
I
I
mean,
swear that
trying
the
to.
Amazon controller is a Microsoft Xbox controller.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, and everybody came out and said, you just ripped off the Xbox controller. So
Nothing wrong with that because it works. It's ergonomical. It's anatomical. It's amazing.
it just
I don't know why
for
Ron's
me, they
laughing. It
keep running
totally
into
is.
this paradox of like you have to spend money to get into this ecosystem. You have to pay money to get your set-top box or whatever, and then you're gonna be playing these games that are meant to be played on phones and tablets on your big screen. I don't want to like pay a lot of money to get into this ecosystem to play, Fruit Ninja on my big screen television. I want to play something that like looks really good on my big screen. Does that make any sense? Or is that just me?
Just you.
Sorry, I was reading about Android TV.
I think it makes sense. I was listening.
I don't know.
But that's the difficulty even just with like mobile gaming in general. You know, like a lot of those games aren't good and they can't, or at least like in terms of graphics and everything else like that. Like it's difficult to do that.
Yeah, you can't
The
mistake
game-
like mobile gaming sales to translate directly into home gaming sales.
Yeah, and I don't
games that
think
are
they
cool.
are. Sorry, I was just gonna say I don't think they're expecting their gaming platforms to compete with Xbox and PlayStation and all that. Like I think it's clear that they're going after, casual gamers and that kind of thing.
What if they take all the old Nexus Q units that are sitting in storage and put Android TV on them?
That'd be awesome because that hardware is so damn sexy.
It is.
I'm
So
trying to
sexy.
say the new games that are coming out are actually look pretty good. Like there's a
They
lot
do.
of games that are coming out lately that I would want to play on my TV because say I'm lounging and that's when I play the most games on my phone. Some of these games would actually just be a better experience on a larger screen if I could just kick back, use my phone as a controller or something like that, and just be able to relax and lay down. Like that's what I want. Like that's really what I want. I just want to be able to use the phone as the controller.
No, you don't
Not
want
have some
that.
crappy
don't,
UI.
yeah.
I mean,
But
that's
you want a real
yeah, I do.
controller.
It depends on the game. It absolutely depends on the game. If I'm talking Dead Trigger or something, yeah, I'm gonna need a real controller. But if it's like, I was thinking of a game called Out There, because that game takes so long, So if I could just lay on my TV and do it, and just kind of control from my phone, I think that would actually be really cool. There's a lot of games like that. Say, like Impossible Road, the one that came out this week. If I could do that on my TV and just kind of use my phones, the left and right, I think that would be kind of cool. Just me though. Naturally.
No, I mean, it's a good idea, but I mean,
Nope, terrible. It's a bad idea.
Xbox and Sony are just now getting into that, and they're on like their 5th generation of consoles. It'd be very hard for Google to just immediately, have that on Snap. I don't know.
We shall see.
So I'm watching. Somebody linked to a story on Gizmodo about how there was an Android TV at CES that no one saw. I'm trying to watch it to see if there's actually anything on it. All I'm seeing is like the old Google TV UI and some other UI on a TV that I guess could be Android TV, but it doesn't look like what the Verge had. So I don't know. I'll watch this later. Android TVs, like you guys said, not really that exciting.
No. Yeah, even if it was there 3 months ago, it's still not exciting. Like,
Right. Clearly, no one at CES saw it, or if they did, they just didn't care.
right? They're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this Moto X Plus One, or Moto Plus X1, or Moto Plus One
Moto
X.
X plus one.
So
One
EvLeaks,
games, oh my god.
so EvLeaks tweeted out this little picture with. I don't think he had anything else to say with it, right? He just said Moto X Plus One, and it was a Moto X. So the Moto X font basically with a plus on the left side of the X and a 1 on the right side, and he called it Moto X Plus One. We don't know if that means it's the new phone. We don't know if it's just a promo where you can buy a Moto X and get one free, or if they're going to sell the Moto X and give you a Moto 360. I don't know what to think of this. What did you guys make of this Moto X Plus One thing?
I will go first. Actually, I mean, I don't think it's the new phone. There's no way in hell they would call it Moto X Plus One to be like the new device.
Just like HTC wouldn't call their phone the One again.
Whoa, I don't know what you mean by that. Apple calls all of their phones the iPhone. What's the problem?
Yeah, but they have like a number and a letter after it, just like Samsung. You remember Samsung? You love Samsung.
Oh yeah, totally.
HTC was really creative, and they put M8 afterwards.
Yeah, they put the code name
Oh.
which is like the worst code name. Like they've had so many other really good code names, and that's the one they stuck with to put on the phone name.
That's true. They have over the years had good code names, and they still.
Yeah,
they
we need to start
M8s.
bringing back the cool code names. This is the best part.
Nobody's creative anymore. Okay, sorry, Tim.
No, it's totally fine. I just think it's more along the lines of either like an accessory, maybe a buy one get one free deal they got. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be a phone. I don't think so.
100% with you on that.
Yeah.
But everyone said it's a new phone. What a terrible name. I don't really think it's a new phone.
I
They're
don't
not
think
going to
it's
call it the
yeah.
Moto X Plus One. Maybe the
That
One
would
Up,
just be
but
silly.
not the Plus One.
Yeah, maybe the one up. Not the plus one.
Steal that from HTC. So I don't know what else to make of that. EvLeaks didn't say anything else other than the
Yeah,
little
it's
picture.
not much to go on.
No.
It sucks.
People tried to make it something. I just don't think it is. I think it's a promo. I don't think they're going to just slightly bump up the Moto X and call it Plus One. I just don't think that makes sense.
No, they're going to do that and call it something else.
Well, yes,
Ooh, got
that's
him.
true.
Shots fired. Pew, pew.
Oh, he did also mention that what he sent out another tweet that also had no reference to anything and said wood 2013, leather 2014. So everyone just assumed that meant he's talking about Moto Maker and maybe
Moto
leather will be an
Maker,
option.
leather
And it
bags.
could very well be. I guess if Motorola talked about introducing different materials and things like that, so leather makes sense. I mean, I'd maybe think about a phone that had a real leather back instead of a faux
That'd
one
be
with
hot.
plastic stitching. Yeah, I'd think about it.
I'd agree.
Real leather.
Mm.
So yeah, that happened. We don't really know what to make of any of it. Again, EvLeaks didn't add any commentary to it, so we have no idea.
Damn.
Let's see. Facebook sort of announced today that they are killing Messenger from within their app and making everyone install a standalone Facebook Messenger app. And Tim had a problem with this. Tim, do you want to talk about that?
Oh no, I think it's the best idea ever. Zuckerberg and his team over at Facebook really got it going on lately. They realized the problem, and that is their app is just crappy because of Messenger. The two features and functionalities, there's just too much friction. So they think it's better just to completely separate the two into two different apps. That way, the Facebook team and then the Facebook Messenger team can work separately from one another, and both apps can look completely different. There's no, conformity. There's no unification or anything like that. It's just it's two different experiences. So I think it's great. And yeah. So yeah, I don't know what else you want me to say. I think it's a terrible idea. I just think it's the Facebook people saying they don't know why their app is so terrible. I just feel like they know that their app is crap. I mean, we all know the Facebook app is crap,
It's
right?
so bad.
I mean,
Even the new one with the new UI, there's not even a way
It's
to just
better,
sort your
but-
stuff by most recent.
No.
You have to go over to this special side tab and click on recent something or other. I don't even know what it doesn't make. It's such a terrible app.
It's kind of a terrible app. The only thing I like about it is being able to swipe through the different panels, if
Yeah.
you would, and I couldn't even figure out which one was my notifications for a while. I was like, I can't even figure out what's what.
Maybe that's why it's in
Um,
alpha, and we shouldn't have spread that around.
Maybe we shouldn't spread around alpha APKs.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I already have Messenger installed. I kind of have almost every app ever installed just so I know when updates are coming out and stuff. So to me, it's kind of whatever. I don't use Facebook Messenger all too much, but whenever a chat head does pop up, it's kind of cool. I just feel like can't they just build the chat head functionality kind of into the Facebook app itself and just get rid of Messenger and just have a very simplistic chat head pop-up type deal whenever a message comes in or something like that. I just don't think you need to force people to download Messenger just because you can't figure out how to make Messenger one of the biggest things used on Facebook, into the official app. Like you're kidding me, right? Like
They're probably just going to try to get people that don't use Facebook to at least use Facebook Messenger or something like that. Like how people use BlackBerry Messenger as their maybe Facebook just wants people to just use, and then hopefully that'll get them into installing the Facebook app. Potentially, I'm just throwing that out there, but I actually really like the Messenger app. Go ahead.
Yeah, they wanted to get more people using Messenger because they thought that Messenger could be its own standalone, feature type application
Service,
because
yeah.
more people just IM. And I forget, we got an email from their PR saying, people use Messenger differently than a regular text app. They don't expect people to instantly reply. It's kind of like an email, except more social. I don't know. It was very weird, and I think I don't know. Facebook is just going downhill, in my opinion. I used to like Facebook a lot, but now I can't stand it. It's terrible. Terrible.
Well, I'm okay with this separation because I don't use Facebook Messenger, and if they take this out of the Facebook app, it'll stop telling people that I'm online on my phone. And
Turn that off,
Oh, well, I'm too lazy to do that. So this will just
Too
do it for me.
lazy.
Well, and you'll still get those notifications that you have a message. You'll just have to install the Messenger app to actually see them. So
Right.
you'll
Good. I can
install
just
it. Like,
ignore
we'll get
them
you.
even better.
You can just tell people I don't have the app installed. I can't reply.
Sorry,
reply to you.
I'm gonna talk to
I
you.
think a big part of this too, though, is like one, like there's been a lot of news about Facebook trying to split out different parts of the app so that it becomes more simplified.
Mhm.
So this is obviously the first step towards that. I think another big part of that too is like on iOS, if you're using messages in the regular Facebook app, it uses chat heads if you want. But obviously it's just siloed in that app. And so I think they kind of want to move away from that and just say, okay, we're going to have messages in one spot. That's going to make it so there's only one place where they're developing that. If they ever do want to integrate WhatsApp, then they've got one app where they can deal with that instead of trying to unify it all over the place in the Facebook app and the WhatsApp app and then the Facebook Messenger app. Like they can just have one place where that stuff can all go. So I think, I don't know, it definitely makes sense. I think Facebook Messenger works well. I don't use it a lot, but every once in a while I'll get messages from friends or whatever on there, and it works fine. So I don't know. I think long term it's going to be interesting to see what Facebook decides to rip out of the main app, what that's going to look like, and what they're going to try to silo and keep separate and advertise as separate. Like obviously, like they own Instagram, but I personally still don't think about Instagram as a Facebook-owned company very much because it's had its own identity. And I think the more that Facebook can separate those apps out and give them their own identity, the better off they're going to do with people being concerned about privacy and things like that.
I just think it's going to be really odd if you're using the Facebook app and somebody sends you a message on Facebook and you have to open a second app.
So you'll tap on the notification. That's how it works on iOS right now anyway. So you tap on the notification and it pushes you right into Messenger.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah. So presumably
Well,
that's how it
iOS
works.
users might have to be kind of used to opening up separate apps for different functions and features and all that
That's
stuff.
true.
So.
Got him.
Because you never do that on Android.
Oh, never.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think all
on
Google are
Galaxy
just one
device,
app.
I have multi-window and all that stuff. I don't know if you've ever used multi-window on a phone, but it's pretty cool. Try it out.
You're talking about that feature that there was just a report about that caused so much fragmentation for a developer that decided to switch from doing Android first to iOS. Is that the feature you're talking about?
Never,
That one?
Never
That was
heard of
super
it.
crazy buggy?
Never heard of it.
Is that Marco Arment or something?
No, it was some
Just
other.
kidding.
He did post about it, but
Of course he did.
Of course he did. Yeah.
well, it's another, like, it's interesting to see people that do try to do Android first and see what kinds of, like, we like to talk about how fragmentation isn't an issue anymore, but like turns out it still is for some developers.
We should do a
can't blame-
tally of how many different developers have said, I love developing for Android more than iOS, and I love developing for iOS more than Android. I bet it's like dead even. But it only happens so
It can't be
often.
though, because like how, like, well, even like with the, what is it, Endless Road? What is that game called?
I don't know.
It
Oh,
just
yeah.
came out.
Is that what it's called? Tim,
Is it?
Endless Road?
Endless, impossible road.
Impossible.
Infinite Road? I don't know. Whatever. Like that's another, like, and Mailbox coming out on Android finally. Like so many big, huge, great apps are still coming out on iOS only. Like that hasn't really changed. The time, Tiny Wings, another great example. Like the time that it takes for those games to be ported has definitely shrunk in comparison, but like it's still sizable and it's still a big deal. Like, and there are certain app categories that are just basically non-existent on Android that are big deals on iOS, like calendar apps I've mentioned multiple times.
Up
are
to.
still.
There's a lot of apps.
Like shouting random names.
I have a few. Like all of my friends work for Apple, and so I like to make the joke to myself, like, I know all the exclusive apps that are coming to Android because all of them have iOS devices and they get all the apps first. Like, oh, you want to know a sweet app that's coming to Android in the next few months? Oh yeah, like just name off a ton of apps that are on iOS right now. It's kind of ridiculous, and it totally sucks. And speaking of it, Up2 is a calendar app which is available for iOS devices. As soon as that launches for Android, I will be super happy because that app is.
You just want Fantastica, man. It's the best app.
Let me just pull my
Never heard of it.
iPhone
You've
out.
never heard of Fantastica. I got my face with that. You've definitely heard of it.
I don't think so.
Exclusive.
Excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well, so Facebook's doing that. I actually like Facebook Messenger. I just don't like Facebook, so I refuse to use it. But it's actually a really
I
nice
like the
app.
chat heads.
Like
Chat
when
heads is
we,
great.
well, yeah, when we had that big Hangouts outage a couple weeks ago, where it was down for a solid hour or two, and Tim and I we had to switch over to Chatheads. I enjoyed that for a good hour or two. I was like, yeah, Chatheads floating around. This is really nice.
Well, if you could have that on your desktop, now that would be sweet. The little bubble floating around on your
That
a
would be
desktop
nice.
app, that would be cool.
That would be.
Get on it, Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't want to tear apart your development team any more than it already is, but get on that desktop app.
All right, do you guys want to do some Q&A? See if anyone actually did. We forgot to mention that at the start of the show.
We mentioned
Yeah.
it. We didn't put a link in there.
Oh, we need
No,
a
that
link.
didn't. I'm
The link
clicking the
arena?
Q&A button now, though, to see if anybody
There's
actually...
some questions.
Oh yeah, we got some. Oh, we got
Oh,
questions
yeah.
in here. Oh, this is great.
Oh, the first one's about Mailbox. Well, we were going to talk about Mailbox, but we can talk about it now. Let's see. Oh, okay. First guy says, Mailbox. iOS hype, features coming to Android Gmail. Do you know if Exchange support is coming? I don't know that Exchange support is coming. It's not available on iOS, I don't think. So
It's not right now. I think they might be working on it.
I would almost hope so, since they're finally pushing out their desktop app. But I don't know that they've really announced anything on that. But I don't know. It's not there
Well,
now.
yeah, I mean, Exchange is one thing to implement on mobile. It's a lot different to implement on a desktop. So
Yeah. So don't know about that part. As far as hype goes, Eric and I both switched over to it today to at least give it some good run. I like it so far. I've never really been a big fan of the Gmail app on Android anyway, so I just was dying to try something new. And most of the other alternative apps, email apps on Android, are terrible. So this one I'd used on iOS a little bit, so I've definitely switched over to it. We'll give it some good run, and we'll see if it frustrates me or not. Eric, what were you thinking now that you've been using it for at least a few hours?
I've liked it so far. I mean, before it got announced today, I was already only at like 4 emails in my inbox, so they didn't have a lot of work to do for me. But I like it a lot. It's very polished. It works very well. I just wish they had a widget, because I use the Gmail widget on my phone pretty regularly.
Gross. Sorry, that widget's ugly.
Yeah, I mean, it
Everything
works.
involving
Yeah.
the Android Gmail
I
app is
don't
ugly.
expect anything out of that app as far as looks go. It works really well. It's very easy. You know, you read it and then your next thought is, okay, what do I want to do with this? You know, it's very easy to, put it where it's not in your inbox anymore, making you nervous about it. I also
It just
forgot that
looks so
Dropbox
plain.
bought them until today. I was like, oh, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, the Dropbox picked them up a little bit ago, yeah. Which is good, because then they finally pushed an app out on Android. They probably didn't have either the resources or care before.
I think they had said that they were intending on doing it at some point, but yeah, definitely
I
have
think
the
they did, yeah.
resources.
Yeah, I think the Dropbox acquisition there probably helped a little bit.
They've got a whole Android development team that helps.
Definitely. And the Dropbox
Thank you
apps are all
for
pretty
your-
nice, so.
But it's definitely, yeah, I mean, all that to say, it's definitely not iOS hype. Like, it is, like, if you want to, like, a lot of people give it crap because it's like they say that delaying your emails is not helpful. I find
It
it
totally
extremely
is.
helpful, because most of the time, like a lot of the time when I get an email, it's either, okay, I've read this, so I just want to get rid of it and archive it, or I want to deal with this, but I can't deal with it right now. So like whether it's like bills that, okay, I swipe that away until I actually have to pay it, or something that I can't answer, like if somebody asking me a question or something and I can't answer right away and I know I'm going to have the information at a later date, like that is awesome, being able to do that and get those reminders built in.
Yeah,
I thought you were
there's-
talking about the
there's some sort of,
actual.
like,
No, sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were actually talking about the physical delay, because I noticed like I haven't turned off notifications yet for Gmail, so I get a notification on Gmail, and then like 30 seconds later it'll come up on Mailbox, and I'm like, I wish I could have had that like 30 seconds ago or something like
There's
that.
a little bit of a delay because it has to go through their servers.
Of course. I'm
I
just
had- I
going to
did
turn off
turn
my
those
Gmail notifications right now. So.
It's scary doing that, because sometimes I don't trust
if I miss
third-party apps
something?
like that. So I was like, what if
Yeah.
an email doesn't come through? Obviously, I sit at my computer all day, so I see Gmail anyway. But yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking turning off Gmail notifications. Yeah, I would just say there's some sort of satisfaction in getting your inbox down to 0, which is the goal or whatever. There's some satisfaction in not having anything there, and even if you may have pushed some stuff aside, hopefully you did that intelligently, so you're not pushing away everything just to do it. Like, you're doing it for a reason, like you said. If I can't get back to somebody right now, or it's a bill that I'll just view later, at least you don't have to see that all the time and sort of feel the pressure to deal with that right now. You can deal with it later. So
right, and it really helps you treat your inbox as a to-do list, so that when things are done, okay, I can archive it and I'm done with it. Like, that's super helpful.
yeah. I'm just really waiting, like I mentioned to you guys earlier, I'm just waiting for the desktop app because it just feels kind of disconnected going from the app on my phone to the desktop Gmail app. I just want like a similar interface that's familiar so I can sort of coordinate between the two. But
I'm curious how that's going to work because obviously you can't like touch your screen. So
yeah, I think it's just going to be clicking buttons rather than. I guess you could click and drag with your mouse and swipe things, but
I'm wondering if they're going to do that or if they're going to let you use your arrows.
That could be too. Maybe it's all going to be key.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like tap the arrow to send it to a different folder. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I signed up for the beta. I told Eric I signed up with like 5 emails, hoping that one would come through faster than the other, and then I could just load up all my other accounts. But yeah, I don't know how often they're sending those invites out. So yeah, so Mailbox is out. If you want to give it a try, it's definitely a different take on email. Like Ron said, it's more of treating your email like a to-do list. So when you get everything done, it sort of feels good, rather than traditional email, which can be burdensome. So yeah, give it a try.
It's loosely like it's from that idea Inbox Zero, which was popularized by Merlin Mann, which he based a lot of that stuff on getting things done. So if you're familiar with any of that stuff or want to be familiar with it, you can check out Back to Work.
And it's free.
Roger.
And it actually now hooks up with Dropbox. Like if you sign into Dropbox, it basically signs you into Mailbox and things like that. And their new app Carousel, which we'll get to a little bit later. Let's see. We can maybe do this one quickly. So that somebody just asked, have any of you guys used Link Bubble? What are your thoughts? I've used it a little bit. I think Tim has some thoughts on this. But I've used Link Bubble, and so Link Bubble, if you guys aren't familiar, Chris Lacey, who made Tweet Lanes, I believe, and then also does Action Launcher, created this app called Link Bubble, where if you are in an app, like say Google Plus or on Twitter or something, and you tap a link that takes you, would normally pop up Chrome, you could have it pop up Link Bubble, and it's almost like a little chat heads bubble, and it loads the website in sort of a bubble on the side, so that you can continue browsing and doing other things while the website's loading in the background. And then once it's done, you can either have it automatically pop up over your screen, or you can just tap on it, it'll pop up. It's a pretty cool idea. There's a free version that's kind of limited, and then I believe he has a paid version that's $5. I think it's $5. And it's a cool idea. I think my problem with it is I like using Chrome and the features in Chrome, and so he's basically created sort of his own little pop-up browser that I think has some limitations that I'm not exactly a big fan of. So I've used it here and there. I think it's a cool idea. I just hope he, improves it, and I don't necessarily know how he can improve it. I just hope that he figures out some way to either maybe integrate it with Chrome or make his in-app browser better or something. Then again, I also don't spend a lot of time in my phone on Google Plus and Twitter and a lot of those where you would click on external links, so it hasn't really been something I've used a lot. Have you guys used any of you guys used Link Bubble at all? Eric says no.
I used it for 5 minutes until I found out I have to have the pro version to use it for anything I actually want to use it for. And I was like, I'm not paying $5 for this, no thanks. So I don't think it's worth $5. I understand that it might have taken him a lot of time to create something like that, but that's $5, baby. I could do a lot with $5. So,
okay.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, Chris. Yeah, so it's gotten some love, but like I said, we've tried it, and it's a cool app. It's just not really for me. So
It's just not for me. Might be for you. Not for me. It's fine. I ain't typical Android user, right? Nope.
No,
Thank you.
cheap
$5.
Oh,
Throw it out the window.
Here's one. Are you guys going to buy Project Aura when it comes out? I'm starting to get more and more excited about Project Aura. I don't know about you guys, but the more we see, we obviously haven't seen a real working model yet, but once we see some working parts, we see some of the modules. I hope Google has partnered with some big-time developers for these modules so we can see some cool stuff. I definitely just want to try it out. I don't know that I would buy one as my personal device. I get the feeling that the first round or so are going to be kind of low end or mid range. They're not going to have these really high end parts, and if they do, they'll be way too expensive. So I just want to try it and see what it's like. And
Yeah, I get the
hot
feeling
swap
it's
modules
very,
and stuff.
yeah, I feel like it's very Kickstarter-ish, you know, like it's just gonna be kind of janky, and so I'll probably wait. We'll see. I mean, it looks cool, but yeah, who knows exactly what it's gonna end up looking like and all that. So you gotta be patient.
Yeah, they have a developers conference for it next week for 2 days. I believe it's Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'd imagine at a developers conference for it, they will have a working unit. So hopefully we get some views of those. It's just a cool idea. It's an interesting idea, at least, to be able to slap in a camera module if you want to take great pictures. It's kind of funny that I said that. It was created by Motorola, at least the idea. But you could just change things out depending on what you need it for. It's kind of a cool idea. So we'll definitely continue to follow it, and we're starting to see more and more from it. Like they released the MDK today and things like that. So lots of stuff happening there. You guys looking at any other questions?
I forgot to turn mine on.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God.
This is kind of a funny one. Random question, but what was your last phone before the OG Droid? Is there anything you missed from it? Does anybody remember their phone before they switched over to smartphones or
Absolutely.
or Android?
I had the LG Voyager, and that thing was freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah,
when
was
I was,
No, it was not.
hey! When I was going to buy that thing, I was on YouTube, I was on the web looking for reviews, and they were like, iPhone killer,
Right.
LG Voyager, and I was like, I'm on Verizon, I can get this touchscreen beast, so I totally got it. What a piece of crap! Like it was cool. It was cool just because it kind of flipped or whatever it did. You slid. I forget. It slid. I think it was a little slider. It was cool, but of course, no, I do not miss one piece of that thing. No. The display was
I
crap.
remember when the Voyager
Well, of
came
course
out,
it
and it was top of the line feature
Yeah.
phone, which they tried to make look like a smartphone
A
and
smartphone,
all kinds of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I had one of these bad boys,
A little BlackBerry
Uh,
Curve or something.
but it wasn't this exact one. It was like the Red World edition, so it was like a little bit bigger.
Mm.
Man, I thought I was hot stuff back in high school with that thing. I was like,
Oh, I bet.
yeah, I can text all the people. I had little trackball power.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Ron, do you remember what phone you had before you went? Because you had the Incredible, I think, didn't you? Wasn't that your first Android phone?
No. So I had the
Did you have an Aorus?
I had an Aorus. That was my first Android phone, and then I went to the OG Droid, and then I went Droid 2, then I went Incredible. But
Oh, you were
before
so-
that, yeah, that was in 2 years. Before that, I had the Touch Pro 2, which was my first smartphone. So
Wow.
running Windows
Very
Mobile
nice.
with HTC Touch Flow. I hacked the crap out of that thing.
Back in the day when we all hacked our phones like crazy.
Yeah, yep. And then I went to Android and hacked away some more.
I had a BlackBerry Tour. I think it was my phone right before. I think I've told that story, haven't I? Have I told the story about the BlackBerry Tour and how I went to the OG Droid? This is like how Droid Life got started. So I bought a BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry Curve, and then I had an upgrade, and I went to the Tour. And wait, no, I had a Curve, and I dropped like a belt on it or something, and it cracked the screen. And so I contacted Verizon and said, I cracked the display. I don't think I have an upgrade for 6 months or something. Will you guys push up my upgrade date? And they were actually nice enough to do that. Maybe I'd been with them long enough or something. And so they pushed up my upgrade date. I bought the BlackBerry Tour, and they didn't flip my upgrade date, so I still had an upgrade. And so then the original Droid came out, and so I bought that, and then sort of went on Android, and that's started the site and all that stuff. But if they had flipped my upgrade date, I probably never would have bought the original Droid. We'd probably never be sitting here.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's funny.
That's kind of scary to think about.
I wouldn't have gotten Android if the Touch Pro 2 hadn't been a horrible nightmare hell ride. And in fact, I was trying to get onto the pre, they wouldn't let me do that, so that's when I got the Aris.
Oh, the Aris. Yeah, we all got our start right around that same time with those like couple of phones.
I remember the first place that I saw the Droid, and what hooked me was the notification bar. I remember the first time. I remember the exact place where we were when I saw it. Like, you know how it like scrolls over and tells you, the first line of your text, and then it goes back up. That was the coolest thing in the world. That sold me on the spot. I was like, all right.
That's interesting. Yeah, like finding out what was the one feature that like got you to.
Man, that notification bar blew me away back in the day.
Yeah,
I remember
the reason I picked the Aris is because you could change the keyboard in Sense, and so you could change it to like a T9 keyboard, and so I thought that I'd be able to type faster on that because I was really fast at that. Turns out when you have something like the Aris, it doesn't matter what keyboard you have, it's slow and janky.
Aris had a trackball, right?
Yeah, it did. Played
okay.
What is that called? Little airplane game. Used to play that with that thing. It's awesome.
Jeez.
Airport control or whatever it was.
No. You like flew around and like shot other airplanes. I forget what it was called now.
Huh. I just remember the guy I worked with at the time got the Aris when I got the OG Droid, and I just remember bragging to him for like months because that thing never got updates, and mine was getting updates pretty regularly because it was flagship at the time.
Wars.
Yeah,
it's so bad for him.
It started with Donut, which was fine, and then when it finally got up, like it missed 2.0, I think, and eventually went to 2.1. I forget what the order was. Maybe it hit 2.0 and then got 2.1. But whenever it got to 2.1, like the phone would not work. Like you'd get a phone call, your phone would be vibrating, and like right at the last ring, you'd finally be able to swipe down and answer the call. Maybe, but usually it missed.
Yeah, if you would click the right spot on the screen.
Yeah. It was
the Droid lock screen had that problem too when it was a like the circular swipe kind of up down, but then they had changed it to the straight across lines like yes or no.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it used to be that circular swipe. That's right. And that for some reason they realized right away that was terrible, and then they went to this side to side.
Yeah, well, I think they were trying to avoid lawsuits back then.
It's all about
the man. It looked like an old rotary style dial phone. Why didn't we all want to travel back in time with our smartphones?
It looked cool, yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, when the custom ROMs, when Black Droid was going on and stuff, he brought that back, and I was like, oh, I'm so flashing that.
That's right. That was a ROM like feature. You could choose the old rotary style.
Yeah. And it was bad. Like it does not work as well as the other one did.
No. It didn't work
we were
well.
Purists, though.
Cool.
We were purists.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
We were snobs almost.
Yes, we still kind of are a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking for other questions.
This is making me feel old. Let's move on.
So, yeah, that was 2009. That was like 4.5 years ago.
Oh, God, no. Oh, okay.
End of 2009.
Crazy.
It was a while ago. We've been doing this for a while. Yeah, we've been doing this for over 4 years. I think that's about it. A lot of the stuff we kind of covered. Somebody just mentioned a Galaxy S5 Google Play Edition. I'd imagine there will be one.
Yeah.
Honestly, they didn't announce.
I'd put down on that.
I'm going to wait for the Galaxy S5 Prime Google Play Edition. That'll be sweet.
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry. Just one last look through. All right,
I can already tell you what I don't like about the mailbox. Like, say in the notification bar, I can't, like, delete or swipe to delete or whatever I had with Gmail.
Right.
That thing that I'm going to miss while I'm...
So I'm going to kind of miss that.
Yeah, you definitely have to go into the app every time, and I wish, they would add some sort of notification buttons.
I'm sure they will at some point. Since any app can do that, so.
Yeah, they just have... hopefully since there's essentially like 4 options, right? You can go to lists, remind, or have it come back for later, archive, or delete.
List, archive, delete, yeah.
So hopefully they will at least allow you to maybe choose which buttons. Like if you do one more than, because otherwise they could put 4 buttons up there, I guess. But maybe they'll let you choose like your favorite 2 or something, so it doesn't get too cluttered. But yeah, hopefully that comes.
That'd be dope.
It would be sweet if they could like actually do the swipe thing in the notifications, like depending on how far you swipe.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. If somebody wants to hack that in there, that'd be great.
I'm actually surprised somebody hasn't tried, so maybe you can't. Because there's been a couple of apps that have been able to do things like that. Yeah, so I'm almost surprised somebody hasn't tried, but maybe Google doesn't even give it that power yet. but that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, potentially you could do something like that if you did some sort of like a like had a pane of the window in a notification. I'm sure you could do that somehow with ROM.
Yeah, potentially. Somebody do that. All right.
Because that'd be great.
Somebody out there do that.
Feature request.
Yeah.
All right, so let's whip through some apps and games and wrap up.
All right.
So we talked about Mailbox, so you guys can go download Mailbox. Dropbox owns them, is released on Android. It's a different way of dealing with mail. Give it a shot. Dropbox also announced a new app, though, today called Carousel, and it's a photo app, iOS and Android. And essentially they're taking, since most of us have Dropbox and we have automatic camera upload, it takes all of your photos that are uploaded, puts them in this really sort of neat-looking timeline style app, and then you can quickly share them. If you have other people or friends or whatever that also have the app installed, it's almost like a chat style app where you can share them and make comments and chat and quickly share and things like that, and add things to your carousel or your timeline or whatever. But you can also share outside of the app. So if you select a whole bunch of pictures and you go to share them and your friend doesn't have the app installed, you can email it to them or something like that, and it'll send a direct link so that they can access those photos. So it's actually pretty cool. So even if you don't think you can convince everyone else to use it as a photo sharing app, it's maybe worth a look just because it puts all of your photos in a really nice UI that you can then share quickly and easily. So it's called Carousel. It's also free. And yeah, iOS and Android. It's a really cool app. Have you guys used it at all? I used it a little bit today. It's actually pretty nice. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you're using Dropbox to back up your photos, it's definitely worth a shot. So
Nice.
that's all I got for apps. Tim, you got some apps for us?
Yeah, I got a few. Quickly, Threes is apparently now Art compatible officially. It was working kind of.
Oh my God, Art!
Yeah, if you kept refreshing it a few times, you could get it to work, but now it's just straight up compatible, apparently, according to my source. Because I didn't see an update in Google Play, so I'm just taking his word for it. I shouldn't do that. But anyways, are compatible, 100% confirmed. Next, we have The Walking Dead Season 1, which is... Do I have to explain myself? It's The Walking Dead. It's a game. Quick, Eric, who's it by? You mentioned this to me.
By Telltale Games.
Yes, exactly. And it's available through Steam. It's available on many different consoles, but it finally came out for Android. And basically, you play as a separate character in the same universe that the Walking Dead series and the graphic novels takes place in. But it's a guy. He's a ex-con, and he gets a second chance on life in a world of the undead.
He's not an ex-con. He's a.
What was he?
He was being taken to jail on the day that the outbreak hit, and his cop car crashed.
He's kind of an ex-con.
Yeah, kind of, but.
Okay, so he was on his way to jail.
He's still a con.
He's a current con.
He's
a current con, but technically, according to technically he's ex-con because he's free.
He's a free man.
He's a free man. Yeah, he's a free.
Wait, so should I download this game? Obviously, I'm a big Walking Dead fan, but is it that awesome? Like, should I play it?
Yeah, totally download it. There is one chapter or season available which is free to download, and then you purchase additional chapters, or I think there's a season pass for $15. There's 4 other chapters, and then each other chapter, if you don't get the season pass, is $5 a pop. So
if you like The Walking Dead, there's no reason why you shouldn't play this. It is so good.
Is it on Fire TV? Can I play it on Fire TV with the controller?
It would actually be really cool to play on TV.
Somebody in the chat.
It's available on the App Store.
Is it on Fire TV?
Wait, yes. It totally is. I believe absolutely yes. I shouldn't even have to confirm this. I just remembered. I just remembered it is available. It was in the press release, so that is good.
Think about that. A little Fire TV. Those free coins they gave you for buying that thing.
1,000 free coins. That's right.
$10 or something.
Yeah, it's great, and they give you a free month of Prime. Oh my God! Why would you not? Anyways. So The Walking Dead Season 1 is free to download from Google Play. Go check it out. Or download it from the Amazon App Store on your Fire TV.
And then you can get Play Season 2. Which
or coming soon to your Android TV as well. Eric's mic is kind of like low tonight. I can't really hear him.
Is it?
Anyways, it's all right. Not your fault. The next one I have is not new at all. It's called Stacked Estates. I might have even mentioned this in a previous show, but I've been playing it a lot lately, and it's time for another. All of my friends ask me, Tim, how are you so smart? And I'm like, dude, I play a lot of trivia games.
Quiz Up.
I play Quiz Up. I play Stack the States, so like geography and stuff. Say if you know states and capitals and all that, this is your game. So it asks you a question, and if you get it right, then you use the state which was correct to stack upon each other until you get to a goal. And you know the line gets harder or higher up, and the questions get harder when it's asking you about capitals. And it shows you the outline of a state, and it's like, what state is that? And I'm like, I know that, and you know, you click it, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great. My niece, who's like 10, really loves this game. So it shows you my mindset. Like, I like kid games, but either way, it's a fun game. I highly suggest it. I believe it's 99 cents or $1.99 on Google Play. It's worth a couple bucks though, you know. Not available for Fire TV yet. I'll let you know though when it is. Last but not least, and that was Stack the States. Last but not least is Impossible Road, which just launched yesterday on Google Play today, or Google Play yesterday for $1. Yes, yesterday today for $1.99. This game was on, as Ron mentioned, on iOS I think for at least the past 10 years, and so what happens is you got your phone. You can either use tilt controls or touch controls, and it's this ball, a vessel. I'll just call it a vessel. The vessel is going down this road, and the road is, you know, essentially impossible to follow. So you have to kind of either perfectly control the vessel down the road, or you have to plan just right to fall off of the road onto a further patch of the road down before time runs up. Like, if you fall off the road, you only have like 5 seconds, or maybe even less, 3 seconds maybe, to get back on the road, or you have to restart.
Impossible Road is impossible.
Impossible Road is so impossible. But it's a really fun game, super addictive. The music is awesome. So it's $1.99. Check it out on Google Play and not your Fire TV. Thank you.
Not your Fire TV.
Not your Fire TV.
Anybody else have any other apps? I don't think I've been using anything else new besides the stuff that came out today.
Let's see.
Actually, Pushbullet got an update, so your notifications that are on your computer have little pictures. It's awesome. Something subtle like that. Who would have thought? Ron, are you using Pushbullet on iOS?
No.
I believe it's on iOS, right? And all the fun stuff that comes with
Come
it.
on, man. Everything comes out on iOS first.
Should I be using Pushbullet?
Pushbullet's awesome. Yes. It's just an easy way to send things to your device. I actually don't know how it works on iOS, but I believe they have it. At least the Chrome extension's awesome because you can send
they
things.
have it.
Yeah.
Shout out to the HBO Go app on Android for Game of Thrones, even though it crashed Sunday night. Hopefully they'll fix that going forward.
I do not know if they can
No
fix.
spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, we won't
Maybe
spoil
they
that.
need to call up DJ Khaled, get some extra server power going on.
All right, so you guys have no other apps?
Not the
I
one
got
that I brought
no
up
apps.
earlier this week, but Drive Auto Sync.
Oh, Drive AutoSync. Same day PhotoSync came out?
Yeah. Except PhotoSync doesn't let you upload the drive on Android for some reason, but it totally does on iOS.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because they always do everything half-ass on Android.
I know, right? That never happens.
Well, so like I have this Sprig mobile app that you can do deposits to, because I use a credit union for most of my banking, and so they don't, obviously they're a small credit union, they don't have their own app or anything cool like that. So the Sprig mobile app is one of those things that uses all these different credit unions or whatever. On iOS I can make deposits, on Android I can't. So whenever I need to deposit a check that rolls in through the house, I have to turn on my iPod Touch to deposit it, so I don't have to go to like the bank. Anyways,
That sounds really hard.
Yeah,
So,
tell
like,
us your whole banking history, Kellen.
Instead of driving to the bank, I have to turn on an iPod
I know
and
it's
take a picture. Life is
Well, I
hard.
have like 15 Android phones laying here, so it'd be really nice if they would update the app so that at least one of them would work.
Just use an iPhone, dude. It just works.
It just works. I don't have any other comments about that. Okay, so one reminder, Google I/O registration was supposed to happen this week. It did not. It's happening next week. Last minute, they moved it. Google moved it from the 8th through the 10th through to the 15th through the 18th, I believe. And so that's actually an extra day longer to get in. So registration, if you guys don't remember, is random this year. Well, you can register anytime through
It's a
the
lottery.
3 days that it's open, and then they're doing sort of a lottery to choose who gets tickets. And so you don't need to rush on the day they go live. If you get in early,
Still
that
gonna
doesn't
rush.
mean everyone's still going to rush. But if you're one of the first people to get in, that doesn't mean your chances are better. At least that's what they're saying. So I/O registration next week. Yep.
That's exciting.
Well-
Google I/O, Google I/O.
Even if we don't all get tickets to go to Google I/O, Droid Life, well, I'm gonna be able to finally meet Tim and Kellen in person. It'll be exciting.
You gonna buy me dinner, bruh?
No, you're gonna buy me
You know,
dinner.
wine and dine me.
I'm the one on vacation here. I'm the one that just graduated. You owe me a dinner.
Oh my lord.
I think we can
Fine.
probably
We can
buy you
arrange
dinner.
Cheap college student. Here we go.
Droid Life meetup. Oh. I also too. Yeah, I also too have one reminder. We have partnered with our dear friend and MKBHD's brother from another mother, Justin Mahler. He is the creator of the Facets wallpaper application and Facets.la, which is the wallpapers, 365 days, yada yada. We are giving away 2 12 by 12 art prints of his, and they're pretty cool. If you have not yet, please go ahead. If you want, no one's forcing you. No gun to your head. Head on over to the site and enter to win yourself a free 12 by 12 print. You can get it framed, put it in your house, make it look sophisticated. It's real cool. So I was super lucky. I entered on Twitter and I won myself an art print. And everyone was like, "Oh, Tim can't win it. He works at Droid Life." And I was like, "Whatever, dude. Like, I won fair and square. Don't
You
be
work for
hating."
Droid Life, Tim. You could never win anything online ever.
I know I'm a total ripoff. But haters gonna hate, and winners gonna win. So head on over to Facets Print giveaway, which we have going on at the site. I'll be tweeting reminders. We'll put up reminders. It's going on until Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard.
Yeah,
So
pretty
you
cool
got
little
time to
giveaway.
enter.
Yeah,
Yep.
class up your joint a little bit with some little pictures.
Yeah, class up your joint. Totally, dude.
Totes. Okay. I don't have anything else, I don't think. I think we're taking next week off, though, so we'll have a little break, and then we'll be back the following week, unless the Blazers are still in the playoffs or something. We'll see.
I feel bad about taking next week off. Galaxy S5 and stuff. Maybe if we could try and do like a short show, maybe sometime
special
during an afternoon or something.
Oh, yeah, a little something special.
Yeah, Galaxy S5, man.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I said the week that the M8 launched, and Kellen was like, "Oh, we'll do a short show." I was like, "If it was the Galaxy S5, you guys would definitely be on top of a show." So my
Not
prediction
true.
is coming true.
It was a travel week.
That was a direct quote. Don't even.
That was a
I'm not
direct
bad at
quote.
here.
See, Eric totally did call me out. He's like, if it was the Galaxy S5, you guys would guarantee to. That's
Probably.
right.
Probably.
Hey, we got love for the HTC One M8.
Yeah, we didn't
Nice.
bash it at all.
Except the camera. We bashed
Just
that a lot.
don't listen to last week's show though.
I just called HTC out for
Last
saying
week's show doesn't
douchey
count.
things. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Good
we'll
note
wrap
to
up.
end on
So, Galaxy S5 Friday. We'll have plenty of coverage in the next couple of days. Review eventually, since we don't do the review in 2 days thing. So look for that in probably at least a week, I would guess. And, so thanks for joining us. DL Show episode 55. Peace.
Adios.
Peace.